Hey traders, this is Ron at Market Tamer. Happy Monday. Hope your week is off to a great start. As always, everything in this presentation is for educational purposes only. The Dow has joined the all-time high party. Here are the December lows, lower left. Upper right, if I go ahead and zoom in, there we sit. Fresh new all-time highs, so it joins the spiders and the Qs. Now, MDY, the midcaps, if I zoom out here, remember their highs occurred September, not this year, a year ago. They finally cleared this 362 area. Beat it by about a buck today. Their next target would now be the all-time highs. This is good for the small and mid-cap area. If we actually look at the smalls, the IWM, they're not above that 160, 161 yet, so they're still on breakout watch. I had a question on McDonald's. Given today's news, I was reading reports that the CEO is stepping down and then the HR person as well. But here's the thing about McDonald's. It trends, and when it trends, it can go great distances. And you can see that when it began to break out here around 190, it just followed the 20-day in red and the 50-day in orange, the institutional moving average, just kept on going. Then we get the gap below it in September on a pickup in volume. That was the tell. That was the flag waving saying, whoa, we got trouble. Furthermore, if I zoom in, not only did we not get below the 50-day, we gapped below it, closed at the lows. We tried to rally up, hit the 50-day, rejected once, twice, come back down, try to get above it, can't. Then earnings comes out, the stock drops, and then you have the news today. The put would still be in place. It never got above the 20-day EMA, and I think that's a great trend line for a litmus test when stocks are dropping or rising to show you that, okay, maybe it looks like a bottom is forming. Never even got close. Today's volume was epic, 17 million shares when the average volume is somewhere around 4 million, over 4 times the average. Right now, downside targets, I mean, maybe 180, probably in here in the lower to mid 170s, and then definitely 170s. This thing is still bearish. Remember, I brought in some energy stocks like RRC, RIG, NOV to keep an eye on, along with some others. Well, now more energy stocks are moving. Here's Halliburton. I brought Halliburton in probably maybe even over a month or so ago, but here's what we got. We have bullish engulfing back here. We have a higher low here, and now we're getting a pop in volume and close the highs of the day. At this stage, this little double top around 24 is probably the upside target. That's over 10% higher. Look at Schlumberger. It was up almost 5% today. Its target up there at 40, over 10% higher. ExxonMobil, one of the big fish, up almost 3%, closing at the highs of the day. Its target, I mean, there's this spike high, but it also comes in up here. I'd say 74 in the low end, but probably up towards 78. That's almost 10%. They tried sinking Exxon. If you look, in August, really couldn't get it below 67 for much, right? Again, late August. October, nope. And they just tried it a week ago. That also ties into the December low. This area, it seems to be a value buy at this stage until it's broken. Then it's going to be overhead supply. But at this stage, yes, we have lower highs, but I would say probably 78 is the big target technically at this stage. And how about the ETF, XLE? Up over 3%. Similar situation, December spike down lows. 56 bucks was defended with pretty much a lot of firepower, it seems. If we break 56, that's going to be bad news for the bears. So if you're following XLE, you might want to set an alert at 56 bucks, because if it gets below there on a closing basis, bad news. Right now, target up there near 64 and then up towards 68. Remember the airlines as well. Remember, the airlines are seasonally positive this time of year, and some start in September, October, and then they usually top out middle of December into January. Well, look at Ryanair during this time. An amazing run. Today we have the huge gap higher. Then we also talked about Delta. Here was the earnings drop in October, immediate bottom, right? And now we're starting to push higher. And how about United? Bottom in October, and boom, now it's up at 92 bucks. The target for United would be up there around 95, technically speaking, for now. Other stocks to watch. There's quite a few. Here's Kohl's. We talked about Kohl's over here, then we talked about it again. 55 bucks is the marker. We're at 54. Then it becomes a gap fill as the target, which is 62. It's going to be about a 13 or so percent upside target if we can close above $55. Here's Abercrombie. Keep an eye on this one. I think Kohl's is the best of the retailers from a technical perspective right now, if we can break over that number. But Abercrombie, starting to get a little volume coming in. I would want to see something above maybe 19 and then maybe a gap fill. And then how about BIDU? I get questions from BIDU from time to time, not from BIDU, but today we had a volume pop. I would still watch maybe 120, and then we can start trying to fill these gaps. But today is definitely a good start with that kind of increase in volume. I would still, I mean, we did take out the little inner high, this little swing high from the middle of October. I'd like to see another one fall, maybe up around 113. Only $4 higher. That's not very much, about 4 or 5% higher. And that would be, I think, a technical breakout or the starting of one. Here is MAXR. This is a cheap stock, but let me zoom out. This thing was up at 65 bucks back in late 2017, 2018. Not saying it's going to get there, but here's the thing. Look at the volume starting to come in. This, to me, personally, seems like accumulation. With today's close at 994, we've almost closed above that $10 area. I think, what's that high right there? Close there was 10, looks like 14 or something, 10, 11. Let's say 10 and a quarter. At that stage, probably up towards 20-ish might be the upside target. Technically, that's a double. Not saying it's going to get there, but this thing fell so fast, there's not a lot of pausing. And 15 bucks there, and then up towards 20, that's the next overhead supply area. And then how about WWE? This stock, pun intended, got body slammed the last couple days. If I zoom out on WWE, almost a beautiful double top from September, October, a year ago, and then again in May of this year. Now we've gapped down. The target is going to be a gap fill down at 43 bucks. Guys, if you're holding WWE, that's still about 20% lower. This one is in free fall. So that's it. A lot of stocks to watch. I hope these videos are helpful. Wish you guys all the best. I'll be back with you in the next one. Take good care. See you next time.